first time I tried cream corn was at a steakhouse in New York. It was so delicious with the steak. It's now become one of my favourite sides, and it's all about long and slow cooking the corn. Now, fresh is best when it comes to the corn. Ideally, you want fresh corn, but if not, frozen does work for this recipe too. And this one I love so much, I've added it to my recent book, The Slow Cook. Now, to start the slow cooking process, we're going to turn the heat on, medium heat. And I'll add some extra virgin olive oil. We want about a tablespoon, no more than that, because after this is cooked, I'm going to serve it with a smoky burnt butter sauce. So delicious. So in with finely chopped onion, and I love lots of ginger for this, about a 2 to 3 centimetre piece of ginger. I'm just going to grate it first. Probably not the traditional way of making cream corn, but I don't care. I love it for my recipe. Okay, and also 2 cloves of garlic that I'll also mince. Now, as I start to cook the onions and the garlic and the ginger, I don't want to get too much colour. I'll just grab a knife, scoop up that yummy garlic and ginger mixture, and then this can also start to cook. And just to ensure that the onions don't burn and they release some moisture, a pinch of salt. Okay, to prepare the corn, so they'll come in the husk like this. If you can buy them like this, it's better than them already being peeled because they're just going to be sweeter. So we're just going to take those husks away and just give it a twist at the base and they'll come off. And then just really carefully with your knife, you want to take the kernels off. And you can see that it moves quite a lot. So the best way to do it is just turn it on the flat side so now you're stable to cut away the kernel, so it's just much safer. And you can see how juicy this corn is. For my recipe, you'll need 5 corn cobs or about 700 grams of the frozen corn if that's what you're using. Okay, we'll just pop that all in the same bowl. And now that this is softened up, we'll add our corn kernels. Scrape down the bowl. So I just want to coat all of those corn kernels in the onion mixture, get a little heat, and then we can add the stock. You'll need 2 cups of stock, and I'm using some chicken stock, but if you want to keep it vegetarian, just a classic vegetable stock. Pour that over, and that's the first stage done. Now we're going to bring this up to the boil, and you can see it's already starting to boil. Turn it down. I'll partially cover it with a lid, and I want some of this liquid to evaporate. That's why I don't want to completely cover it. This is going to cook for about 40 minutes. Now, while that's happening, let's get onto this yummy butter. So in a small saucepan, just like this one, we're going to add the butter and just allow it to melt and become quite foamy. And once it starts to become quite foamy and nutty in scent, we can go on to the next stage. Okay, you can see the milk solids, they've become golden, so that's the right time to add some chipotle in adobo sauce. I love this ingredient because it's got that spiciness to it, it's got that smokiness to it, it's just delicious in a butter like this. And just allow the bubbles to subside. I'll also add the zest of half a lime, and the rest of the lime zest I will add to the top of it. And I'll reserve the rest for later. So I'm going to add some lime juice to our corn and also the zest for garnish. All right, all I need to do now is wait for the corn to finish cooking and then we can add some cream. This is ready. Now it is creamed corn after all, so yes, there's cream in it, but I also need to cream it so it's really lush and smooth. So the best way to do this is just to pulse it about 6 or 7 times, just so we've got the 2 textures. All right, I'm happy with that. I need the juice of half a lime, and we'll add that last minute. You don't want to be adding this while it's cooking because you will lose the freshness of the lime. So please leave this to the last minute and we'll just gently mix that in. Look at that. I love the 2 textures. So we'll just start to plate this up. A few generous spoonfuls. I like a black plate so that beautiful yellow colour pops. And we'll spread that out. And now this wonderful butter that's been speckled with chipotle in adobo sauce. Just such a nice addition. We'll just drizzle that over the top. If it wasn't already rich, it's now extra rich with the addition of that butter. Finally, the zest, so extra zest over the top. Creamed corn with smoked butter. I had creamed corn for the first time in New York and that was delicious with my steak. But you know what? I love mine served with a roast chook on a Sunday night.